So convolutional neural networks, they are also called as CNNs. So these CNNs are especially designed for the task called as object recognition task. So what is an object recognition task? So given an image, let's say we are given this image. In this image, we are asked to find whether the image contains an object like a cat, a dog, or human face. Such a task is called as object recognition task. So these CNNs are inspired from the area of our brain called as visual cortex. So this visual cortex has layers. This visual cortex is divided into layers like V1, V2, V3, etc. up to V7. Each layer performs different tasks and output of that layer is given to the upper layer. For example, output of V1 is given to V2 and then subsequently till V7, and finally this visual cortex recognizes the object. So each layer performs individual tasks like detecting motion, stereo, color, faces, and finally objects. So like this visual cortex, this CNN is also divided into layers. It's a layered architecture. We have layers in CNN also, like layer L1, L2 up to Ln. So each layer, like especially the lower layer, perform the task of edge detection, detecting edges in the object. Then the subsequent layer may perform a task of detecting part of the object, and finally the last layer detects the complete object. So there are layers in CNN also. So let's see the architecture of CNN diagram itself. So if you see, we are giving this image as input to the CNN, because CNN takes image as input because it recognizes the objects from the image. So we are giving this image as input to this CNN. So this is the first layer of CNN, right? Probably it will detect the edges in the object, and then this output of this will be given. Of course, we can call these two this layer and this layer. This is a pooling layer. It may not be different. We can have this combined convolution and pooling. So anyway, we'll see that later. So this is layer 1, this is layer 2, this is layer 3, so and so forth. Finally, we have layer 4 here, and output of this layer, you see this output is 4 by 4 matrix, 4 by 4 into n2, right? So this grid or this cube sort of thing is unpacked, right? Unpacked means we have made it a one-dimensional array here, right? That is called as flattening operation, and then finally that is given as input to this neural network. This is our fully connected neural network, and here we do the task of object recognition or classification. So that is how CNN works. What we have here, we have image as an input. So this image will be in the form of the pixels matrix, pixel values 28 by 28 by 1, right? And that image is going through the layers of CNN. These are layers of CNN, right? Like our visual cortex, this layer performs the task of let's say edge detection. Then this layer may perform the task of detecting group of edges, then parts, and so on and so forth. Finally, object. So that is how CNN works. Or we can have the the task of detecting edges, detecting paths in the detecting vertical edges, detecting horizontal edges in the same layer, right? Same layer can perform the task of detecting vertical edges, horizontal edges, or diagonal edges, etc. That's why these are there are these things called as kernels. We'll see later. But the summary is to CNN we give image as an input. And that image goes through layers of CNN. What are these layers? We'll see later. But this image goes through the layers, and finally we get the output, whether that image is a cat or a dog or any other thing.